It is Thursday, the 26th of September, 2024. My name is Pigeon Rose, and this is my song of the day. Today, we're talking about a band called Ludo. Who are Ludo, you might ask? You mean that board game? No. Ludo are a band from St. Louis, Missouri. They're a rock band. They're named after the character Ludo from Labyrinth, which I talked about last week, of course. They're probably best known for Love Me Dead. That's like a pretty big song of theirs. I discovered them through the Bora Logs, which was the Tally Hall tour videos made by their friend Bora Karaja. It was a video from South by Southwest 2008, and there's a brief clip of Ludo playing Lake Pontchartrain. And I was like, who are these guys? So I was like looking up all the bands in the video, and it took me ages to realize that Lake Pontchartrain was the song they're playing, because it's such a weird clip they included. It's the part where everyone in the crowd is chanting, "Come down to Lake Pontchartrain, come down to Lake Pontchartrain." And so because it's just the crowd chanting it, I don't know what the fuck was going on. But anyway, I looked them up. I love their music. I'm going to be talking about more of their music closer to Halloween, which, if you know Ludo, is pretty self-explanatory. But today I wanted to talk about their song Manta from their album Prepare the Preparations, because it's a great song. I love it so much, and that's really it. I just love this song. I kind of forget about it for a while, and then I remember it. I'm like, oh, I love that song. So we're going to talk about that today. I don't think I need to give any more preface. Let's go ahead and listen to it and then come back in a few minutes and talk about it. There's just something about the vibe this song creates that I love. I think it's partially because it's about manta rays, it's about the water, and the drums and the guitar combine to give it an underwater feel. I don't know how to describe that other than it just does. Just the kind of like dum, 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 dum. There's not really any snare. It's just kind of toms. I really like how it sounds, and then the kind of like shh on the cymbals and the hi-hats. It's just got this really cool kind of underwater feel to it. Maybe it's just making me think of Dire Dire Docks. Who knows? Anyway, the song itself seems to be about kind of unrequited love, and it's using the ocean and sea life as kind of a metaphor for the unknownness and also the weightlessness and all of that falling in love feels like, just the kind of overwhelming emotion of it. I think it's a really interesting metaphor to use, and there's just some great lines in here. Andrew Volpe is a strange lyricist, but he comes out with some great stuff sometimes. Like, people know they're kind of sillier songs like Whipped Cream and Skeletons on Parade, but Manta Rays, even though it has weird lyrics, is a really interesting, sweet song. It kind of gets overshadowed by the more comedic stuff, but I really love when they do stuff like this. Even Anything for You, which is the song before this on the album, is like really, really silly, but it's a very sweet love song. It's about being willing to do anything for someone, and it gets more and more ridiculous as it goes on and more unrealistic, because all this shit about like wishes from a leprechaun and shit like this, but it's very sweet. Anyway, we're talking about Manta Rays, not Anything for You. Manta rays above us in the open sea. I wonder if you think of me. Now we're swimming deeper. Nothing's as it seems. Creatures sailing silently. Or so I dreamed since I met you. I've been hallowed by your body. I've been hypnotized by all you are. So it feels like it's just talking literally, but it most likely isn't. I've never read another interpretation of this song, by the way. There's no notes on Genius, so this is all my own conjecture. But just that whole thing of manta rays above us in the open sea. I wonder if you think of me. He's just thinking about her and projecting this, right? But then, now we're swimming deeper, nothing's as it seems, creatures sailing silently. It feels like I said, just like falling deeper in love, you know, and the unknownness of the creatures sailing silently around them. And then, or so I dreamed since I met you. So he's talking about like dreaming of swimming with these creatures, you know. I've been hallowed by your body. Now that's an interesting thing. When I first heard it, I thought he was saying hollowed. Not that made any more sense, but it's just the accent, you know. But like hallowed means consecrated, made holy, which is really interesting. It's like I've been blessed, I suppose is the best way to say it. Like, I've been blessed by your presence, right? I've been hypnotized by all you are. And then, oh, all I want is to know your name and whisper it in your ear, but I'm weightless like I'm falling on the moon. I'm falling slow for you. I love this so much. All I want is to know your name and whisper it in your ear. I want that closeness. I want that intimacy, but I'm weightless like I'm falling on the moon. You know, again, the weightlessness of being in the ocean as well, right? I'm falling slow for you. Then we get the second verse. Driving through the darkness, we are glowing green. You're holding my hand to your cheek. This car is our vessel. Our tires leave the ground. Up above the night sky, we're going home. Or so I dreamed since I met you. What secrets do you hide? You tilt your head. There's a city inside. I love this part so much. So again, another dream of this fantastical voyage, right? The first one was them underwater. Then this one is them in a car, like flying off into the sky. I picture like E.T. with the bike in front of the moon, right? Although our tires leave the ground makes me think of a different Ludo song. We'll get there. But it's just such a lovely image as well, especially with like we are glowing green, kind of maybe implies that they're aliens or something, right? But then I love the variation on the pre-chorus as well. You know, so I dreamed since I met you. What secrets do you hide? You tilt your head. There's a city inside. I love this so much. It gives me the idea of someone talking about like there's so much going on with someone's expressions with how interesting they are, right? And tilting your head is often a quizzical look. Dogs do it as well. Like that thing where like someone tilts their head at you and they're like, And he says there's a city inside. It's like there's just so much going on inside your head, inside your brain. There's just so much interesting going on. It's like there's a city inside your head. I love that lyric so much. And then all I want is to know your name and whisper it in your ear with your arms around my neck. You've haunted me in colors I've never seen. I feel strange and unprotected, but I'm weightless like I'm falling on the moon. I'm falling slow for you. Yeah, I love this part as well. The second chorus, it just expands on the previous one. Your arms around my neck. So again, implying this very intimate position. It makes me think either they're like, facing each other in an embrace, like arms around each other's necks, like almost like a slow dance or something. But it also, before it makes me think of that, because that's probably what's intended, but before it makes me think of that, it makes me think of someone like sitting down and someone walking behind them and putting their arms around them from behind. So either works really, but it's just, they're both very intimate positions to be in, And then again, another strange lyric, but I know what he means. You've haunted me in colors I've never seen. Just like I am so unfamiliar with this experience that I've become obsessed with it. Haunted as well, right? Like that's usually a negative word, but in this case, it's just saying like, this is just how completely you've dominated my mind, right? I feel strange and unprotected, but I'm weightless like I'm falling on the moon. I'm falling slow for you. So again, just re-emphasizing this. And then the bridge, sailing through the dark to the lunar face, your pupils shining over time and space. We are two creatures, each wrapped around the other without a sound, safe at home, falling slowly. So again, talking about like falling on the moon, right? Sailing through the dark to the lunar face, your pupils shining over time and space. So again, presumably this like dream idea of this like fantasy going to the moon, right? And then two creatures each wrapped around the other without a sound. Again, just a very intimate picture. But like also the idea of wrapped around each other, apart from, you could take a sexual image from that if you want, but it also makes me think of yin and yang and like the koi fish in the yin and yang position, like just intertwined, and then safe at home, falling slowly, and then the chorus again. I love this song so much, especially with the way it kind of explodes from the chorus into the bridge with the weightless like I'm falling on the moon, kind of explodes into the bridge. I love that. Yeah, I just think this is such an interesting encapsulation. Again, like I've said this before a million times, so many songs are about love. Almost every song is about love. And so you really have to bring a unique perspective to it to be an interesting song. And this is a really interesting perspective. It's about this unrequited love, or desiring to be closer to someone, and using these dreams and the sea imagery and moon imagery and things like haunting me in colors I've never seen. You tilt your head, there's a city inside. Just really interesting metaphors and similes to describe this idea, and I really love how it all washes out. I think it's a really underrated song in Ludo's oeuvre. I just think Ludo are very underrated overall. Maybe if they release another fucking album. It's only been 14 years. Anyway, thank you so much. I think that's going to do me for this episode. Thank you so much for listening. Please hit like, hit subscribe, leave a comment down below. Tell me what you think. Tell other people about this show. Thank you so much for listening, and I will talk to you tomorrow.
Break it down.